Hello viewers, welcome to Ekam Academy. Today, as part of the concept of the day, we'll discuss about Article 12. So we know Indian Constitution consists of 22 parts in the beginning. Today, we have 25 parts as on date. So in the third part of Indian Constitution, we have fundamental rights, so which are guaranteed to the citizens as well as aliens also by the fundamental law of the land, that is the Constitution of India. So in this part 3, there is first article 12 of Indian Constitution, which defines the state. So what forms part of the state under Article 12 we'll discuss in this particular video. So first let us discuss what is Article 12. Article 12 defines state. So according to Article 12, what constitutes state? So it can be union government. So union government can be even parliament, including parliament. It can be executive, right? So union level, legislature and union executive. Then state level, state legislature and state executive. At the same time, local authority. Local authority means we have panchayats, municipalities, any other corporation which comes under the state control or purview. So all these things generally comes under the definition of state. So apart from this, we also should know why we need to understand what forms part of state. So why it is very much important to understand and interpret what forms part of the state. Because the Article 12 falls under Part 3 of Indian Constitution, which deals with the fundamental rights. Right? So fundamental rights are very much important for individual development, all-round development of an individual. So to ensure that any individual is having full liberty or we can say full liberty in terms of growing himself or to excel in the things what they wanted to achieve, fundamental rights are very much important. But in case if any state takes any decision, legislative domain or executive domain, which is in contravention with the fundamental rights, then Article 13 is empowering the judiciary to make it null and void. So for that reason, we need to know what comes under the state. So then if they know who forms part of under the state, then their actions, if they are in violation with fundamental rights, can be declared null and void by judiciary under Article 13 of Indian Constitution. So it is very much important to know what forms part of the state under Article 12. So let us understand. So although these three are the three tiers government we have in the India, but we can also have some interpretations, right? So in one particular case, R.D. Shetty case, right? So R.D. Shetty case, Supreme Court has explained so what forms generally part of the state, right? So they have given some set of criteria. So anything which is directly under the control of the government. So financially, for example, if any government is financially contributing or financially making contributions to that particular authority, even partly or fully also, then it will form part of the state. Then if it is under direct purview of the government of India or any government of the state, then also that means control it authoritatively, you can say administratively also, if it is under the state control, then also we can say it forms part of the state. Then if any corporation is actually transferred to the government, okay, corporation transfer to the government can also be classified as a state. At the same time, if a corporation is having monopoly, right? So monopoly, and if it is having some powers conferred by the state, then also we can say this forms part of the state. Like this, some conditions were outlined in R.D. Shetty case, and then Supreme Court said if any of these actions form part of any government authority, then that can be declared as a state. But in BCCI, like Board of Cricket Control in India, so with respect to this particular case or body, Supreme Court said BCCI does not fall into either of these criteria, so it doesn't form part of the state, right? So this is one thing we have to understand. So then the state will have all the powers, right? So the state which forms part of Article 12 will all have the powers with respect to passing any law, bylaw, regulation, notification, order, etc. So any of these things can be passed by any body which forms part of the state under Article 12. So if these laws are in violation with fundamental rights, which are mentioned from Article 14 to 35 of Indian Constitution, then they can be made null and void for being violative of fundamental rights by the judiciary, especially Supreme Court and High Court. That is why clearly at the beginning of the fundamental rights in Article 12, there's a clear mention what forms part of the state. Then we have seen in the earlier slide that legislature and executive at the union level, state level, even in the local level also forms part of the state under Article 12. Then will judiciary also form part of the state? The question is interesting, right? So, but in this particular situation, Supreme Court said clearly in one particular case that only the administrative aspect of judiciary will form part of the state, but when judiciary is sitting in the judicial capacity, it doesn't form part of Article 12. That is what the present status you need to understand. That means only administrative domain of judiciary will come under the Article 12 definition. The judicial aspect, that means a court or a judge, when he's sitting in a judicial capacity and delivering his judgment, it will not form part of Article 12. It cannot be considered as a violation of fundamental right. So that is what the main interpretation of Supreme Court in with respect to whether judiciary will form part of Article 12 or not. Now let us see the practice question with respect to Article 12. So which of the following comes under the definition of state as per Article 12? So you have 4 options listed. You can see government and parliament of India, government and legislature of each state, then local authorities, and 4th other authorities within the territory of India. So among these, try to choose the correct option and let me know in the comment section. Then in this video, we have discussed about Article 12 of Indian Constitution, what forms of under Article 12 under the definition of state. So same definition of Article 12 is also mentioned in Part 4. If you know which article is related to Article 12 in Part 4, let me know that also in the comment section. So this is with respect to Article 12. If you like the video and found informative and useful in your preparation, let me know in the comment section. Thanks for joining. See you again.